whet their appetites.
Oh, I like.
Oh, wow. You see, we impressed you at the beginning, mate, and it was the right thing to do. Well, today we're in West Yorkshire, and this series of locks are known as the Bingley 5 Rise locks on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. Built back in 1774, they're known as staircase locks because each one opens directly onto the other. Now, they're not the only staircase locks in Britain, but with a gradient of 1 in 5, they are by far the steepest. And they're just part of a landscape that's packed full of riches from one of my favourite periods in British history, the Industrial Revolution. West Yorkshire is one of 4 counties making up the region of Yorkshire. This landlocked county has long been known for its industrial past. Signs of the wool and cloth industries remain visible in the rows of weavers' cottages and workers' houses, built on ridges and overlooking the towering chimneys of mills in the valleys. The area's varied landscapes are vividly described in the work of the Bronte sisters, arguably West Yorkshire's most renowned literary exports. Their childhood home, the parsonage in Haworth, has been open to visitors for over 75 years. 9 miles away, the market town of Hebden Bridge was built around water-powered weaving mills in the 19th century, but today is better known for its artistic identity, where streets are lined with artisan shops, galleries and cafes. West Yorkshire is also a county of excellent walking opportunities. Visitors head to Ilkley Moor to enjoy its abundance of striking carved rocks, also popular for rock climbing. They're thought to date back as far as late Neolithic or Bronze Age. Offering a captivating mix of outdoor pursuits, industrial heritage, pretty Pennine villages and literary landmarks, there's definitely no shortage of things to explore in West Yorkshire. You know, it's often a curious thing how house prices can vary so dramatically between one neighbouring county and another. And here in Yorkshire, well, I think the numbers prove the point. In North Yorkshire, the average price of a detached property is currently £282,000. But in West Yorkshire, well, you could get the same thing for £67,000 less. Doubtless the draw of the North York Moors and the national parks have helped up the figures up there. But nonetheless, West Yorkshire isn't short on beautiful scenery either. So let's meet today's buyers and find out why they want a slice of it. Graham and Denise have been married for 8 years. They first met through their local amateur dramatics company and have been making each other laugh ever since.
What I love most about Denise is her sense of humour, the sense of humour that is on the same wavelength as mine.
The most romantic thing that Graham has ever done was when he proposed, which was on top of haystacks in the Lake District. He'd taken up a ring, he'd taken up half a bottle of champagne, he'd taken up glasses.
It was a smaller bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
But not half a bottle.
No, just a small bottle because of carrying it up a mountain.
10 years ago, they bought their first home together, a 5-bedroom new build in Peterborough. Close to family, Denise's work and within commuting distance to London for railway project manager Graham, the town has been a practical base for them both. But now they're looking to live out their retirement somewhere more idyllic.
Whenever we drive up to Yorkshire, as soon as we leave the main road and we're in amongst dry stone walls and hills, there's a feeling comes over us, isn't there?
No, it's just that.
Yeah.
A real nice feeling, isn't it?
And I guess that touches the heart.
Both keen walkers, they're drawn to the varied landscapes, hills and mountains of Yorkshire's national parks. But for Graham, there's an even deeper pull.
For me, it's a roots thing. I come from Yorkshire. We used to go into the Dales regularly as a child. The countryside lifestyle means that we can get into the scenery, drink it in. I'm interested in photography. So for me, photographing landscape is going to be a great opportunity for me.
And when it comes to buying the right property, the couple have a number of indoor hobbies to consider too.
Having retired from the railway industry, I have always hankered after building a model railway. So I've built up quite a collection. I've got to get on and build it now.
I'm usually in another room reading my book, or I might be in the kitchen doing some cooking.
So with their house on offer, the wheels are certainly in motion. What's more, Graham and Denise are hoping their forthcoming move won't be as stressful as their last.
On the day of exchange, the couple that were selling pulled out, which meant that we were homeless. We have some very good friends who were holidaying in France. We lived in their house for a month, and in that month we found this house and moved in.
And it was fate. This time we're hoping for a much easier purchase. We don't want any of the disasters that we had last time.
Our couple are open to looking anywhere in the West Yorkshire countryside with great walking opportunities nearby, which gives us great scope for the search. All I need to know are the exact requirements for their dream home.
Oh, welcome back to West Yorkshire, mate. How does it feel to be back on your old patch?
It was absolutely great. It feels like coming home.
And how do you feel about being up here?
I'm very happy about being up here. I love it up here.
My God, you've just sold your house.
Yeah. Really good news.
Daunting?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Give us a picture then of the sort of thing you're imagining.
Yeah, a rural location would be lovely. Not isolated,
Yeah.
but a character property is fine, but I'd like it nice, modern inside.
Modern inside. So we've got an idea of broad style, but what does it need to have? What components are you particularly looking for then to this?
At least 4 bedrooms and a nice kitchen.
Yeah.
I have an ambition to build a model railway, so what we would like additionally to the 4 bedrooms is a railway room, somewhere big enough for me to build the model.
Okay, so something with a bit of character about it. You don't obviously want a project. No. So now you're told, what's the budget for this new move?
Our maximum budget, if everything has been done, would be 500,000.
Well, I'm pretty optimistic to what the property market can offer you. The one thing I'm not too sure about is the weather today. Hence these, but you're good to go. So am I. Come on. Let's see if we can find you. £500,000.
Graham and Denise are hoping their budget of £500,000 will get them a property with a modern interior and at least 4 bedrooms. Denise would like a good-sized kitchen, and Graham needs a separate hobby room for his model railway. And they'd like a balance of a rural location that's close to a community. We've got 3 great characterful properties ready to tempt them with, all in idyllic countryside settings. At each one, I'll be asking them to guess the asking price before I reveal it at the end of the tours. Our last stop will be our mystery house, a unique property which I hope will engineer a good response from Graham and Denise.
So 4 children between you.
Yeah.
How many grandchildren?
7.
7.
Yeah.
And how do they feel about you moving away from a familiar home?
Well, they're behind us all the way. It'll give them an opportunity for some quality time with us when they do come and stay.
No wonder you need 4 bedrooms to these.
Yes.
It's going to be like running a Bimp B, isn't it?
I think it will be, yes.
Our search begins in the village of Eldwick in the north of the county. With scenic countryside and endless walking opportunities on its doorstep, this location offers a rural lifestyle with all the conveniences of village life. There's a post office, a number of shops, a hairdresser's and, of course, a public house. There's also an active community with a number of local clubs, societies and events, including an annual beer festival. A 5-minute walk from the shops, our first house is perched on the banks of the Eldwick Beck at the edge of the village.
So this is where it begins to really reveal itself.
Oh, it's lovely.
There you are. What do you think of that then?
That's lovely.
Yeah. What you've got here, Graham, are 2 former mill workers' cottages. But obviously, more recent times, it's been converted into one, I think, very spacious family home.
From this position, it doesn't look very big.
Probably what you're struggling with is the fact that it's set into this hillside. But I think you'll find on the inside it does open up to reveal quite a spacious property that I think has, a number of things going for it, which I hope you'll pick up on. Come on, let's have a look.
This stone-built cottage dates back to the early 1800s, but benefits from some recent additions and improvements. The ground floor flows from room to room without the use of a central hallway with an entrance that leads directly into the living room.
This is what greets you. This lovely fireplace.
Lovely. Nice and cosy.
Is this the sort of thing that you would find welcoming, Graham?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably a little bit smaller than we've currently got, don't you think, as a land?
Yeah, maybe, but it
Living room.
hasn't got as many doors out of it, so I like it.
Yeah, okay.
So it's very much get up to kind of draw you this way, which it does quite nicely. You've got this area here, this little snug, and then through into here,
and the kitchen through this rather ornate sort of screen arrangement.
I love that.
Yes, that's very nice, yeah. I like the kitchen as well.
It's nice, isn't it?
Lovely.
I do find this really attractive.
Yes, I do. It's lovely.
However, if I'm being brutally honest, I think it interrupts what you would do with that space through there, because I would love to see this as a more open kitchen diner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Practically speaking, it is a better use of that space, isn't it?
There's also a separate sort of utility come glory hole, just through a little door here, very much sort of walk-in larder. I mean, they've got another separate dining room through here. It's tempting to think that might rattle to the sound of trains clinking over tracks, possibly.
Okay.
However, I think there are some other options.
Okay.
Upstairs.
Okay.
Right, off you go. Through that door, mate. Let's see what we've got up here.
Upstairs, there are 4 good-sized bedrooms, 2 singles and 2 doubles, so plenty of space for the family to stay, as well as options to house Graham's model railway. There's also a modern family bathroom and a separate shower room.
So this being the biggest, not surprisingly, is the master.
Yeah, it's lovely. Really good size, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nicely presented as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a very cosy, amenable building, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I think cosy is the operative word
Yeah.
there.
Has it grown on you, Graham? Because I got the feeling this one had a bit of work to do.
Yeah, certainly the decor, the presentation is superb. Size is probably the thing for me because I like space, and that's the thing that this doesn't have in spades, as it were.
It's a life on the railway, but you see these big open spaces. Come on, let's go back outside to the garden.
Despite its 4 bedrooms, generous living spaces and beautiful finish, I suspect this house isn't quite living up to the dream for Graham. But heading outside the property is surrounded by well-maintained gardens and their small patio with seating area.
So, pretty much back where we started. I mean, I think you and I think it's a nice, cosy little number, don't we?
Yes, it's cosy. It's got a nice comforting feel about it. I still like it.
Well, let's see if price has an effect on that. Who's going to go first then?
Go first.
I think it's about 465 I'm going to go for.
465, yeah?
Okay, I was thinking slightly less than that, so I'll say 450.
450. You're both wrong, I'm afraid. It's on at £495,000.
Wow.
Irrespective of its price, is this a property that you think you could be happy in?
I could, yes.
There you go. Maybe that tells me all I need to know, Graham. Well, look, have a wander around, explore it at your leisure. I'll come and find you a little bit later on. Go on,
Thanks.
off you go.
Coming in just under budget, this superb detached character property has the 4 bedrooms Graham and Denise asked for, one of which Graham could use for model railway, and a kitchen with the potential to be opened up into the next room. It's in a great location on the edge of a village in the middle of the Yorkshire countryside.
I think this would make an ideal study for us, rather than the dining room.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Graham will be thinking that this place is too small for us. He does like space, and I don't think it'll be the one for him.
I think I probably would not see myself living here. It hasn't given me that wow factor when I first walked in.
Well, madam, perfect timing. All done?
Yes, thank you.
Right. The weather is changing. I hate to say it. We may well need this, I suspect, later on. But I think a good start and a good insight into what you're after.
Yeah,
Yes.
and also an indication of what we get for our money.
Well, isn't that the battle? Come on, let's keep fighting.
Much of Yorkshire's landscape is etched with farmland and fields given over to agriculture. The farming industry makes an important contribution to the region's economy, with milk from its cattle bringing in over £200 million a year. One family dairy farm in Denby Vale has decided to do something a little different with the milk from its Frisian cows, producing a local delicacy which should be of interest to keen cook Denise. We're sending her and Graham to meet Louise Holmes, who runs the farm with her husband.
Hello. Has there always been a farm here?
Yes, since 1960s. It was started by my husband's granddad and then passed on to his father and on to my husband.
And it's always been a dairy farm?
It has, but in 2007 we diversified into making ice cream. We both wanted to do something a little bit different. We had a surplus of cream on the farm, so we wanted to find something that we could use it for. And ice cream was both of our passions, and it was allowed us to be more adventurous with what we were producing here.
What makes your ice cream so special?
Well, it's made here on the farm. It's made from the milk from these cows that you see behind you here, and it's made to ice cream within 24 to 48 hours of being milked, so it's as fresh as you can get it. So come on, let's go make some ice cream.
Please.
The 250-acre farm is home to 110 cows that produce a total of 800,000 litres of milk a year. 10% of it goes into the production of their award-winning ice cream, which is sold across the region and in the farm's own ice cream parlour.
I really enjoy making puddings, Louise, but I have to say I've never made ice cream, so what's the process?
Well, it's quite simple, really. It's a bit like making a cake in reverse. So lots of milk, a bit of cream. It goes into a big pasteuriser, and then we put that pasteuriser onto heat. So it starts heated towards 85 degrees centigrade, so very hot.
Right.
As it's halfway through the process of heating up, we add our sugars, and then the machine does it as fast as possible down to 4 degrees, and that then sits in the pasteuriser overnight, which is called aging. The next day we come and use that mix to make our ice cream.
Along with all the old favourites, they also produce some more unusual flavours, which are specialities of the local area, including a recipe that has its roots just half an hour's drive away in the market town of Pontefract.
Today we're going to make Pontefract cake ice cream.
What other flavours do you do here?
We make all sorts of flavours. We have experimented with things like black garlic, which is really quite nice. It doesn't sound wonderful, but it is. And then we do a most unusual flavour for Yorkshire Day, which is our Yorkshire pudding, gravy and raspberry vinegar flavour. I know, I see from the reaction you love it.
So is the flavour popular?
It's a bit of a love-hate flavour, because obviously gravy is really quite soft when you taste it, but with the sweetness of ice cream, you love it on too.
As well as the hand-cut Pontefract cake pieces, Louise also uses a licorice paste which she adds to the ice cream base mix for a more intense flavour before it's churned in the batch freezer.
So we are ready to add our Pontefract cakes that we put up so nicely early on. So if you want to try some ice cream and see what you think of it.
Oh, it's lovely. I mean, I don't like licorice, but I have to say honestly, it's subtle and it's so smooth and creamy. It's gorgeous.
It'll be even better after you've tasted it with these in it.
Business is steadily growing, and now Louise and her husband produce around 33,000 litres of ice cream a year. In the midst of a struggling UK dairy industry, success has come at the right time, and their ice cream production has proved a great way of adding value to the milk from their cows.
It's lovely, and I've just had a chip of the Pontefract cake, and it really sets it off.
See, it's worth all that cutting upstairs, isn't it? Good luck with the house hunting, and I'm hoping you become a regular here.
Thank you very much.
very much.
Really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, with bellies full of delicious ice cream, I'm glad Graham and Denise have found something in West Yorkshire to their taste. Let's hope they like our next property just as much. Our next stop is near the village of Harden, just 3 miles from our first house. Nestled in a valley amidst woodland and farmland, the village is a favoured base for both commuters to nearby Bradford and Leeds, as well as those exploring the local landscape, with footpaths up to the surrounding moorland. Locals are well served by a school, a popular pub, and a number of shops, including a post office and a butcher's. The property we're here to see is just a 2-minute drive away in a hamlet called Rycroft, a conservation area made up of local stone cottages and agricultural buildings, which still look attractive, even in the predicted downpour.
Right then, you two. This is our next offering. What do you think of that?
Oh, wow. I think that looks lovely.
It's impressive.
It does.
Yeah. So, Denise, I think this is rather tickled your fancy, isn't it?
It certainly has.
Now, when we go to the door, you have a choice. You can either go into the kitchen or the living room first. What would you prefer?
Kitchen, please.
Right, OK, kitchen is. Come on then.
This Grade 2 listed stone barn was originally a cowshed, owned by the hamlet's most prominent family from the 16th to the 19th centuries. Converted over 10 years ago, I'm confident it will deliver not only on character but also space, which should keep Graham happy too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very nice.
As you can see, the island here nicely sort of separates these two zones. I mean, you could, I suppose, have this as a dining in, but there is also space for that next door.
But have a drink of this because it also comes with its own spring.
Oh.
Yes. So try this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Lovely,
Oh, it's very nice.
isn't it? Very sweet.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's run through a UV filter in here. It's all in there. So you've got your own free mineral water bottle of sauce. Come have a look at the living room. That's through across the hallway. At the back of the property, just off the kitchen, is a useful utility room. And on the other side of the house is a wonderful dual-aspect living room. There.
Oh, very nice. Plenty of room, isn't there?
And you can see why they've not put the dining table next door, because you've got plenty of space in here. Is this working its magic more on you, Graham?
It is. This gives me a great sense of space, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Because you really like it.
I do.
Hey, you see? Right then, let's have a look upstairs. There's a little treat for you. Think railway. Upstairs, it offers up all the space they requested with 2 generous double bedrooms and a smaller single, all with exposed beams. There's also a stylish family bathroom, as well as a vast master bedroom. Now again, this is not short on space.
It certainly isn't. That's a big room.
It's huge, isn't it?
It is.
An unusual shape. It also has a shower ensuite here, which is great. Is there anything you'd change?
I think I'll zizz it up a little bit with a bit of colour here and there. In the furnishings, yes.
Yeah.
To make it more of our own.
Yeah. Now, I did promise you a little treat through this door. See if my thinking is on your wavelength. Now, Graham. The current owners are using this mezzanine space as their office. But would it not be fun to try and think of a way of getting a railway so that it could run out here through some elaborate sort of bridge system?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering whether it would be big enough, but it's a possibility, isn't it?
So I suppose taps into your drum route, isn't it? A balcony, a play, a Romeo. Right, let's leave it there. Come on, let's go outside and talk about the price. Altogether far more serious issue. I'm slightly concerned Graham seems to have tunnel vision when it comes to housing model railway. If it's more space he needs, then perhaps he'd be better off creating something outside. I think we'd all agree it's a really interesting property.
Yes.
I don't think there's a room for the model railway.
But, I mean, what about model railway in a bespoke shed?
Out here?
Out here.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
OK, so let's talk about the price then. Go on then, Graham.
OK, yes, me to go first. I'm going to say 475.
475?
I was thinking 450.
This is interesting because it's a direct comparison with property number 1. It's also on the market for £495,000. It is surprising, actually,
Yes.
how steep the property market can be. I'm going to give the house one more shot. It can do its best. Off you go, have a wander around, and I will come and find you a little bit later on.
Okay, thank you.
In fact, you won't be that long. It's pouring with rain. This characterful barn conversion certainly delivers on space, with 4 bedrooms, a great-sized kitchen for King Cook Denise, and if Graham's model railway doesn't fit on the mezzanine level, he could custom build a shed for it in the garden.
What I like about this property, I like the kitchen and the area to the side of it. I love the size of the lounge. That mezzanine area is really nice.
This property has more space than the first house we saw. The problem for me is my need for my model railway, and the room that had been considered would be possible for the model railway, I didn't see as being big enough.
What I've taken away from today is that maybe we're not looking in the right area for our budget. The properties have been a lot more expensive than certainly both of us anticipated, so maybe we have to have a rethink.
So that's it. Day one of house hunting is over, and I can offer you another choice. Yorkshire tea, Yorkshire beer.
That's a hard decision.
It's not that, is it? Come on. Retired railway manager Graham dreams of returning to his roots in West Yorkshire, taking wife Denise with him. With a budget of £500,000, they're hoping to swap their new-build Peterborough home of 10 years for a picture-perfect pad in the Yorkshire countryside. Coming up, it looks like our mystery house is on the right track for Graham.
I like simple.
What does that say?
And I tried to look the part on my visit to one of Yorkshire's last remaining wool mills.
That's terrific.
That's the business.
That's terrific. And do you know what? It's so light, I didn't even know where it is. Well, the brochures will tell you that the sun always shines in Yorkshire. But not today, not on our final day of house hunting here with Graham and with Denise. So far we've seen 2 properties, but we've struggled for space, particularly for Graham's train set. So what can we come up with on our final day? Well, it is of course time to reveal our mystery house. This has everything they are looking for, but I suspect it's not quite what they might have expected to find it. Our mystery house takes us to Todmorden in the west of the county near the Lancashire border. The small market town has a big industrial history and is known for a prosperous cotton and textile trade. Walsden Water, a tributary of the River Calder, runs through the town and represents the historic boundary between Yorkshire and Lancashire. Straddling the water, the town hall was once situated in both counties until the administrative county border was altered in 1888, placing the whole town firmly in Yorkshire. Today there's a diverse range of shops and restaurants, including a toy and model museum, which might be of interest to model trade collector Graham. The house we're seeing is a quiet rural spot just over a mile from the centre of town. Well, there we are then. And sir, that is our mystery house. What do you think of that?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different, certainly different.
Well, sort of different. This is yet another barn, but this one is considerably older. This one dates to 1666.
Oh, my goodness.
Is this the sort of aspect you're really looking for?
Yes. Yes, it is. I know it's rural, but it's not isolated. You know, there are other properties around, so that's fine for me.
Yeah.
The other great thing that the property comes with is this garage structure here, Graham. Now, you can see on the left, there's garage itself.
Yeah, good.
On the right, this is currently a music studio, but I'm thinking it's the perfect railway room.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's got potential.
So here's my plan. We go in there first,
Yeah.
and then we go into the main property. What do you think of that?
Good idea.
Sounds good.
Right, let's do railways.
One reason why we've selected this Grade 2 listed barn as our mystery house is because it's by far the most rural of the properties we've found for Graham and Denise. Although I'm happy to say that doesn't seem to have put them off.
Now then, Graham, come on, don't say we don't care or we haven't listened.
Oh, that's a good size.
A good size, it's fantastic.
There's a smile on his face.
Look at it.
Yeah, this works.
So I think we can safely say we've ticked off the railway box. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right then, let's get on with the main event, which is your mystery house.
Okay.
Follow me.
So the outbuilding's got green light from Graham. Now it's time for me to get Denise on board too.
Well, I think this is the obvious place to start. Denise?
That's more like it.
Yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Nice, isn't it?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Listen to him. Look, we've got a railway all sorted, mate. I don't care. The kitchen's perfect. You can do what you like, Denise.
Yes. That is lovely.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, positive feeling.
Yes. Excellent.
Yes.
So glad we did the railway thing. Right, come and look at the living room.
As we head on the back of the hallway, there's also a useful study area.
So,
Oh, yes. Again, this is much better.
It's a lovely
Yes,
space, isn't
lovely.
it?
yeah?
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's very simple. I think you can
Yes.
come here, redecorate, make it your own
Yeah.
within, a few days. really.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like simple.
Probably what does that say? But I take your point.
Yeah.
I do take your
Yeah.
point. Simple is good. It works
Yes,
for
it
me.
is, yeah. Yeah.
And
Plain and
also
simple is
works for you.
good.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
then. Come on, let's go upstairs.
Heading upstairs, the double-height entrance hall creates a superb light galleried landing, leading to 3 well-presented double bedrooms offering plenty of room to accommodate visiting family, and a large bathroom, as well as the master ensuite.
There we are, finally. Yours.
Oh, I like.
Oh, wow. You see, look, we impressed you at the beginning, mate. It was the right thing to do.
I like this.
Good.
It's very nice.
You've got a very nice ensuite around the corner there. And then this spiral leads up to a mezzanine, which they're using as a little media room at the moment.
Right.
It's right nice, actually.
The skylight gives the room so much light as well. It's lovely.
I like it very much.
Ah, right then. So we've pleased you and we've pleased you. Let's see what the price does
Oh dear.
to that equation.
Outside main garden lies to the front of the property, so makes the most of the ordinarily lovely views.
Now then, it is still pouring. And my suggestion is that we don't bother getting wet again. I think you can see what the garden has to offer from here. Happy with the house?
Yes,
Happy with the railway thing?
absolutely.
Good. Happiness all round then. So, what's it on the market for?
I think this property is worth 490,000.
490. Yeah, great.
I'm going to say top of our budget, 500,000.
You are pretty much spot on, Graham. This is on the market for £499,950.
Right.
What do you think of the price?
I think it reflects the property.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. So go and have a wander around and I will catch up with you a little bit later on. Off you go. Well, I think that's all turned out rather well, you know.
This 17th century converted barn would give Graham and Nees all the space they were hoping for. There are 4 generous bedrooms and a large kitchen, as well as a designated outbuilding for Graham's all-important model railway. And it's all set in a rural location with magnificent countryside views.
I really like this house. I love the layout. It's a lovely property in a stunning location.
I feel very comfortable in this house. It's warm and inviting, and the mystery property has delivered when we were about to give up hope.
So I think that was well worth you seeing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
And I think overall we've given you plenty to consider this week in terms of the properties we've been able to find you for your £500,000. Are you going to spend it?
You may well do.
Ah, well, let's be somewhere where you can mull it all over. We'll see what happens next. Come on.
With evidence of Yorkshire's heritage in the milling and weaving industries all around, I'm taking some time out to visit one of the few so-called vertical wool mills still left in Britain, meaning they complete all the processes on one site, from raw materials through to fabric finishing. Abraham Moon & Sons was founded in 1837, supplying fabric to the Leeds market throughout the 1800s, and today supplies many of the world's major fashion houses. I'm meeting Managing Director John Walsh to learn more about the history of the company, its founder, and the materials they produce for the modern-day market.
Hello, Don.
Hello, how are you?
Very nice to see you.
Likewise.
Tell us a bit more about Abraham Moon. I gather he set up shop back in 1837.
He started out as a merchant, but in the 1860s he decided to set up a mill on this site. The reason for this site was that the railway would have just arrived, and also we have our own artesian well, source of natural water, and that's obviously crucial for the dyeing and the finishing of the fabrics. Quite why he changed from being a merchant to a manufacturer, we don't know, but he must have been quite an entrepreneur to do that. It's a major step and it's serious finance.
We obviously understood the process very well, but tell us a bit more about the process you employ today.
We buy in wool, we bring it in and dye it.
On today's house hunt, our buyers are searching for a very specific space.
I don't think there's a room for the model railway.
But with a top selection of properties lined up,
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm confident we'll find something to whet their appetites.
Oh, I like.
Oh, wow. You see, look, we impressed at the beginning, mate, and it was the right thing to do. Well, today we're in West Yorkshire, and this series of locks are known as the Bingley 5 Rise Locks on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. Built back in 1774, they're known as staircase locks because each one opens directly onto the other. Now, not the only staircase locks in Britain, but with a gradient of 1 in 5, they are by far the steepest. And they're just part of a landscape that's packed full of riches from one of my favourite periods in British history, the Industrial Revolution.
West Yorkshire is one of 4 counties making up the region of Yorkshire. This landlocked county has long been known for its industrial past. Signs of the wool and cloth industries remain visible in the rows of weavers' cottages and workers' houses, built on ridges and overlooking the towering chimneys of mills in the valleys. The area's varied landscapes are vividly described in the work of the Bronte sisters, arguably West Yorkshire's most renowned literary exports. Their childhood home, the parsonage in Howth, has been open to visitors for over 75 years. 9 miles away, the market town of Hebden Bridge was built around water-powered weaving mills in the 19th century, but today is better known for its artistic identity, where streets are lined with artisan shops, galleries and cafes. West Yorkshire is also a county of excellent walking opportunities. Visitors head to Ilkley Moor to enjoy its abundance of striking carved rocks, also popular for rock climbing. They're thought to date back as far as the late Neolithic or Bronze Age. Offering a captivating mix of outdoor pursuits, industrial heritage, pretty Pennine villages and literary landmarks, there's definitely no shortage of things to explore in West Yorkshire.
You know, it's often a curious thing.
Flat caps when I was a girl, and when I was studying millinery at college, I started making my own flat caps.
They are such a good all-rounder. You can see how design has lasted so long,
Yeah.
but now you're giving it a new lease of life.
Yeah, I just thought take the flat cap so you can go out for the dog walk, or you could wear something on the catwalk, like this.
Could
So
I?
I just put a bit of a twist on the flat cap.
But, you know, very clever. And again, clearly a flat cap. Now, I love wearing hats. Can you suggest something here out of your collection that would suit me?
Try this one,
Yeah? Bit more
a
traditional.
bit more traditional. There you go. Yeah,
that's terrific.
that's the business.
That's terrific. And do you know what? It's so light. I didn't even know I'm wearing it. But it'll keep me nice and dry and warm. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
No,
Best of luck.
nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I love what Rhiannon is doing here. While the team at Moons are producing their cloth in a time-honoured way, she's taking it forward to a different market, a different generation, and with new, innovative twists. I only wish I'd had my new flat cap at the start of our rather rainy search here in West Yorkshire.
Well, my favourite part of any escape to the country has now arrived. It is, of course, that moment when we find out if we've been successful in our house search for our buyers. We've certainly given, I think, Graham and Denise plenty to think about and some really good options at the right sort of price. But have we managed to find anything they're going to buy? Well, let's go and ask them. Well, guys, here we are at the end of the process. And has it helped you evaluate what the property market here can give you?
Absolutely. I think that's the most we've got out of the last few days. What our expectations, or how unrealistic our expectations probably were for the area.
The trick was trying to find you something that offered you enough space. So we put all of our eggs into our final basket, our mystery house.
That was quite exciting. I thought, aha.
It was rural, which is what we wanted, but I certainly didn't want to be in an isolated position, and it wasn't that, just a few miles away from Todmorden.
So you were very pleased with the room sizes. Once we'd established there was somewhere for the railway in the outbuilding. What happens next?
What we want to do is to go back, research the area more, because it's not somewhere that we are familiar with.
Do you think it's one that you might move to?
There's certainly a good possibility that we would make an offer on it, yes.
How interesting. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I am thrilled that we've managed to get there at long last, even if it was with our final roll of dice with our mystery house. It's off on the way.
Yeah.
Lovely, and thank you very much for all your help.
Yeah, thank you.
Our pleasure. Denise and Graham's escape to the country is now, I hope, well underway. And while they start attending to all the details they'll need to sort in order to make their new life happen, well, I've got a little job of my own to break in my first rather lovely Yorkshire cap. On a day like this, typical Yorkshire weather, it's just what you do.
We'll find something to whet their appetites.
Oh, I like.
Oh, wow! You see, look, we impressed you at the beginning, mate, and it was the right thing to do. Well, today we're in West Yorkshire, and this series of locks are known as the Bingley 5 Rise Locks on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. Built back in 1774, they're known as staircase locks because each one opens directly onto the other. Now, they're not the only staircase locks in Britain, but with a gradient of 1.5, they are by far the steepest. And they're just part of a landscape that's packed full of riches from one of my favourite periods in British history, the Industrial Revolution.
West Yorkshire is one of 4 counties making up the region of Yorkshire. This landlocked county has long been known for its industrial past. Signs of the wool and cloth industries remain visible in the rows of weavers' cottages and workers' houses, built on ridges and overlooking the towering chimneys of mills in the valleys. The area's varied landscapes are vividly described in the work of the Bronte sisters, arguably West Yorkshire's most renowned literary exports. Their childhood home, the parsonage in Haworth, has been open to visitors for over 75 years. 9 miles away, the market town of Hebden Bridge was built around water-powered weaving mills in the 19th century, but today is better known for its artistic identity. Their streets are lined with artisan shops, galleries and cafes. West Yorkshire is also a county of excellent walking opportunities. Visitors head to Ilkley Moor to enjoy its abundance of striking carved rocks, also popular for rock climbing. They're thought to date back as far as the late Neolithic or Bronze Age. Offering a captivating mix of outdoor pursuits, industrial heritage, pretty Pennine villages and literary landmarks, there's definitely no shortage of things to explore in West Yorkshire.
You know, it's often a curious thing how house prices can vary so dramatically between one neighbouring county and another. And here in Yorkshire, well, I think numbers prove the point. In North Yorkshire, the average price of a detached property is currently £282,000. But in West Yorkshire, well, you get the same thing for £67,000 less. Doubtless the draw of the North York Moors and the national parks have helped up the figures up there. But nonetheless, West Yorkshire isn't short of beautiful scenery either. So let's meet today's buyers and find out why they want a slice of it.
Graham and Denise have been married for 8 years. They first met through their local amateur dramatics company and have been making each other laugh ever since.
What I love most about Denise is her sense of humour. The sense of humour that is on the same wavelength as mine.
The most romantic thing that Graham has ever done was when he proposed, which was on top of haystacks in the Lake District. He'd taken up a ring, he'd taken up half a bottle of champagne, he'd taken up glasses.
It was a smaller bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
But
No, it wasn't half a bottle. No, just a small bottle because of carrying it up a mountain.
10 years ago, they bought their first home together, a 5-bedroom new build in Peterborough. Close to family, Denise's work and within commuting distance to London for railway project manager Graham, the town has been a practical base for them both. But now they're looking to live out their retirement somewhere more idyllic.
whenever we drive up to Yorkshire, as soon as we leave the main road and we're in amongst dry stone walls and hills, there's a feeling comes over us, isn't there?
It's just that a real nice feeling, isn't it?
And I guess that touches the heart.
Both keen walkers, they're drawn to varied landscapes, hills and mountains of Yorkshire's national parks. But for Graham, there's an even deeper pull.
For me, it's a roots thing. I come from Yorkshire. We used to go into the Dales regularly as a child. The countryside lifestyle means that we can get into the scenery, drink it in. I'm interested in photography, so for me, photographing landscape is going to be a great opportunity for me.
And when it comes to buying the right property, the couple have a number of indoor hobbies to consider too.
Having retired from the railway industry, I have always hankered after building a model railway. So I've built up quite a collection. I've got to get on and build it now.
I'm usually in another room reading my book, or I might be in the kitchen doing some cooking.
So with their house under offer, the wheels are certainly in motion. What's more, Graham and Denise are hoping their forthcoming move won't be as stressful as their last.
On the day of exchange, the couple that were selling pulled out, which meant that we were homeless. We have some very good friends who were holidaying in France. We lived in their house for a month, and in that month, we found this house and moved in.
And it was fate. This time we're hoping for a much easier purchase. We don't want any of the disasters that we had last time.
Our couple are open to looking anywhere in the West Yorkshire countryside, with great walking opportunities nearby, which gives us great scope for the search. All I need to know are the exact requirements for their dream home.
Well, welcome back to West Yorkshire, mate. How does it feel to be back on your old patch.
It feels absolutely great. It feels like coming home.
And how do you feel about being up here?
I'm very happy about being up here. I love it up here.
My God, you've just sold your house.
Yeah. Really good news.
Haunting?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
So give us a picture then of the sort of thing you're imagining.
Yeah, a rural location would be lovely. Not isolated, but yeah, a character property is fine, but I'd like it nice, modern inside.
Modern inside. So we've got an idea of board style, but what does it need to have? What components are you particularly looking for then to this?
At least 4 bedrooms and a nice kitchen.
Yeah.
I have an ambition to build a model railway, so what we would like additionally to the 4 bedrooms is a railway room, somewhere big enough for me to build the model.
Okay, so something with a bit of character about it. You don't obviously want a project.
No.
So now you've sold, what's the budget for this new move?
Our maximum budget, if everything has been done, would be 500,000.
Well, I'm pretty optimistic of what the property market can offer you. The one thing I'm not too sure about is the weather today, hence these. But you're good to go, and so am I. Come on, let's see what we can find you. $500,000.
Graham and Denise are hoping their budget of £500,000 will get them a property with a modern interior and at least 4 bedrooms. Denise would like a good-sized kitchen, and Graham needs a separate hobby room for his model railway. And they'd like a balance of a rural location that's close to a community. We've got 3 great characterful properties ready to tempt them with, all in idyllic countryside settings. At each one, I'll be asking them to guess the asking price before I reveal it at the end of the tours. Our last stop will be our mystery house, a unique property which I hope will engineer a good response from Graham and Denise.
So 4 children...